This week, I'll show you how to take great pictures of your pets.
AdoramaTV presents Digital Photography One-on-One, where we answer your questions. Here's your host, Mark Wallace.
Hey everybody, welcome to this week's episode of Digital Photography One-on-One. Well, this week we got a great question from Junellen Ang. And Junellen, I hope I'm pronouncing your name correctly. Forgive me if I'm not. Well, Junellen asked, can you give me some tips on how to get really good pet photos? Well, absolutely. In fact, I'm going to give you 5 tips, and I'm going to enroll an expert to help us out, and my favorite 2 little dogs as well. So let's zip over to the park and start shooting. Well, we're here at the park, and I have a bunch of extra help here today, and we're going to talk about how to shoot your fuzzy friends. And so first up, let me introduce Diane. She is my wife. And Diane, you actually are a volunteer at the Arizona Humane Society. Tell us a little bit about what you do.
I photograph the animals for the website so that they can get adopted, and I also teach a class for volunteers and foster families.
That's right, and actually we're taking 5 things from that class, and we're going to be talking about those here today, and that's why Diane's going to help us out a little bit with those things. And then also Kelsey, our producer, is here to help us make sure that we wrangle these dogs, because you know what it's like working with animals. It's lots of fun, but sometimes they can get rambunctious, so she's going to be helping us out with that, and we'll see how it goes. So speaking of fuzzy pals, this is Cody. He is our dog that we rescued, 3 years ago?
Yes.
And then Tosca here, we rescued her about a year and a half?
Last December.
Yeah, last December. So these are our animals. We love them. They're our little pets. And so they're going to be the stars of the show today. And so to start out with, we're going to be shooting Cody. And so Tosca is going to leave us for just a second. We'll bring her back a little bit later. And so Cody, we're going to shoot. Now we need to do 5 things. And the first one is when you're shooting outside, you need to find a nice area with some shade. And so we've done that. We're in the shade. That shade's going to give us nice, soft light. And so that's perfect. Now the second thing we need to do, we don't want to shoot, straight down from this vantage point, because if we do, we're going to get very emotionally distant images. We don't want that. We want really nice, tight headshots. We want to be right at the eye level of our dog or our cat or our rabbit, whatever we're shooting. So we need to get down here. So we're going to come right down here to Cody's level, and he's a good guy. And so that's going to work out really well. Now, once we do that, we need to get some distance between the photographer and whoever you're shooting, if it's a dog or a cat or whatever. Now, the reason for that, there are 2 things. If we shoot really close, we have to use a wide-angle lens. That's going to cause a lot of distortion, and it's going to make our fuzzy friend look, sort of funny, like a clown. We don't want that. And secondly, if you're shooting specifically at a shelter of some kind, well, these animals don't know you. They're going to not like the camera. You need to have some distance. So it's better to use a longer lens, and then that way you can zoom in, get a nice tight headshot, and then also get some compression so that everything looks good. So what we're going to do is we're going to have Cody zip over there. Diane's going to help out, and I'm going to move just a little bit over here. Good. That's about right, Diane.
Okay.
Good. Now Diane's going to spin Cody around there, and while she does that, let me tell you about the third thing we need to do, and that is to use a flash. Now what I've done is I've just popped the flash on my 5D Mark II here, and I've put it in high-speed sync so that I can shoot at shutter speeds of over 200th of a second if I need to. And just to clarify, I'm shooting right now in aperture priority mode, and I'll tell you why here in a little bit. So those 3 things: shade, get down low, and then turn on your flash. Now the 4th thing we need to do is we need to zoom in, and you can see that Cody's having a good time over there. He loves the tummy rubs. I'm going to get some of those pictures, which is fine. You have to sort of roll with whatever you're going to get there. So we're going to zoom in, and zooming in is going to give us a nice headshot. We're going to get nice compression. And then the 5th thing that we need to do is open up. And what I mean by that is to use a wide aperture value. And so I'm shooting actually at f4, and f4 is going to give me nice shallow depth of field with this soft light and some fill flash. We're basically getting really nice headshots, and that's pretty good. Now to do that, Diane is actually going to be posing Cody for me. So Diane, can you really quickly tell us some pointers on how to pose specifically a dog?
Yes, the best thing to do is have your helper sit the way I'm sitting right now, which is with one knee up. So one knee down, one knee up. And it gets tricky, but when you have your knee up like this, you can then hold your dog at the hips. They don't often sit like this. He just happens to be my dog, but very often you won't have them. They'll be curious, they'll want to move, they'll want to run to the photographer. So this way you can hold them at the hip, and it frees up their headspace so that the photographer can get a nice headshot.
Yep, and that's really good. And so what we're going to do is we're going to take some pictures here. Now, one thing to note is with a scene like this where we have really strong backlight, you may have to use exposure compensation to make sure you get a nice exposure on your fuzzy friend. Or another option is to shoot in full manual mode, and that way you can expose, and then if there's any shifts in the light, you don't have to worry about those causing issues. But I mentioned earlier that I was shooting in aperture priority mode, and the reason for that is because I want a really wide aperture. So what we're going to do now is we're going to put those 5 things into practice, and we're just going to shoot some pictures of Cody here. We're going to bring Tosca out. We're going to shoot some stuff of Tosca, and then we'll show you our results. But to recap, number 1, find some shade. Number 2, get down low so you're at eye level with your pet. Number 3, use a fill flash. Number 4, zoom in with a longer lens so you get nice compression, some distance between you and your fuzzy friend. And then number 5, open up, use a wide aperture. Once you do that, you're gonna get some great shots. So ready, Cody? You are. Let's shoot some pictures. All right, Cody, like right here. Yeah, that's a good boy. Well, I had a lot of fun at the park taking pictures of Tosca and Cody, and I just love my dogs. They're great. Well, when you're taking pictures of your dogs or cats or whatever animals you own, your horses, make sure that you are patient with them, and you might need to take a little bit of extra time because they're animals, and so they can't talk to you like we can, and they're not going to be able to take direction that easily. So just allow yourself a little bit of extra time. And when you get some great pictures of your pets, make sure that you post those to our Flickr group. And we've added a link to our Flickr group in the description of this video, and it's right here below me so you know exactly where to go. Well, one more thing. If you work with an animal rescue organization, I just want to say thank you so much for your hard work. I really admire what you're doing, and I want you to keep it up. I've had several rescue dogs in my life, and they've made me a better person, and I'm very appreciative of all the people that work at rescue organizations. Well, if you have a question about photography, you can send that to me at AskMark@Adorama.com, and I might just use it on an upcoming episode. Well, I'll see you again next week.
This episode is brought to you by AdoramaTV. Visit the Adorama Learning Center where you'll find photography tips and techniques, links to the gear used in this episode, and related videos. For all the latest photography, video, and computer gear, visit Adorama.com. And the next time you're in New York City, visit our store located on 18th Street between 5th and 6th Avenue. Digital Photography 1-on-1 is written and produced by Snap Factory. For more information about our workshops, visit snapfactory.com.